Welcome today. I'm here with Feline Beuming, a friend of mine. I've known her for a while now, and I think she's the most inspiring, positive person who has done so many things that are quite interesting, and that's why I'm interviewing her. Let me tell you a little bit more about her background. She's a sacred portal opener and energy healer, a serial entrepreneur, business consultant and practical child psychologist, and has served over 1,200 people, all ages, dealing with healing, trauma, limiting belief, blockages, relationships, mental and physical illness, and also business growth, wealth creation. Feline is the author of her newest upcoming book. She has featured as an expert on Entrepreneur and Awake, has been a guest on many international podcasts, media, and has trained and spoken to international audiences all over Europe. She's a spiritual business advisor, mentor, therapist, and healer to celebrities, high-achieving entrepreneur, world leader, and change maker. Welcome, Feline. So nice to have you here. I love it. Like, you did so many things already, and you keep on going and growing, and I love just following you. But let me tell you, yes. Tell me a bit about yourself and what your vision is.
Wow. Well, first of all, thank you, dear Nouty, for your beautiful words this morning. And like, those are big gifts, and it's so good to I'm really honored to have such a beautiful friend like you, and we've created some beautiful things together already, so I'm like really excited what today might bring and what the future may hold for us. So I'm really grateful that you are interviewing me today.
Yes.
I mean, that's like a big thing. It's a gift. So thank you.
Yeah, it's likewise. Thank you so much for your sweet words. I'm so happy that we can share this, like not offline, but also online, and show what it is when you support each other and you lift each other up. That's such an amazing gift. So I'm very happy we can do this together.
Wow. Yes. So this is a Thursday morning, and I'm like thinking, how can I answer your question? Like, do I want to start with something, or I'm sitting here in my practice in Haarlem, and you asked me about my vision, and it's like, wow, it's such a big question. I'm thinking, how can I like move into that question, right? So I need to kind of get into it. Like, what is my vision? I think that's a big question, and I think my vision is for this life, depending on what area in life, because I think I have different visions. But one for life, for my life, would be that I really have this urge, this big drive. So it's both a mission, but it's also a vision that I really want to kind of reach. It's a crazy mission and a crazy vision. But I want to reach over
crazy, of course.
The crazier, the better.
Yeah.
So I kind of have this drive to reach as many people that I can in this lifetime, to really make a kind of a footprint in this world of helping people become aware of their self-healing abilities, and how they can find their inner drive and that inner fire to really build a life full of wealth and happiness, and find ways to heal themselves. And this is a vision or the mission that comes close to it, is that I want to reach over 2.4 million people in I think within 5 years. So that's like, what? That's crazy to me myself as well.
That's a big number, but I think you can do it. And I've seen also your website. You have updated it, and one of the things, I think you will reach this also by doing a lot of online trainings. And
Thank you. Yes, I hope so.
yeah, it's amazing. Can you tell a little bit about the program you're just recently developed for this? Because I think this will bring you a step forward to reaching all these people and help them, and yeah, see that there's so much value in healing yourself and getting back to your core, because this is what it's all about.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving me the kind of the stage to share about it, because that's a big gift. Hopefully for others, but it is for me. um, yeah. So this is a program. I've launched a new online course that is all about how to kind of rewrite your soul story and really dive into it, and then build it up to a soulful business, a business where you can both work and prioritize on your health, and then at the same time really create wealth. And that wealth really means different things to people, as you pointed
Mm.
out. So there are entrepreneurs doing these programs, but some people are really looking for better relationships, or awakening that self-healing ability to really kind of make that choice for yourself to build a life where you can create wealth. And wealth in that sense can mean financial freedom, but it can also mean freedom in the broader sense of the word, like um, have time to really spend and master that energy, and really spend it on things that make you happy and making others happy. And
Yeah.
I think it's so important for everybody on this earth to kind of make a shift and learn to live life that way. I think humanity would do a lot better if we would all do that.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. That's beautiful. So, and then I love it that you say wealth is something that's different for everyone, because for me, for instance, being healthy is one of my priorities, because if I'm not healthy, I'm not happy. And
Yeah.
I know you have you had a big challenge in your life with your health, and
Yes.
I know your story, and it really, the first time you told me the story, it really touched me. It's shows your strength also, that you had found ways to overcome this. Can you share your story about this?
Yes, sure. Yes, this crazy mission doesn't come from, yeah, it really comes it, you know it really is rooted in also the pains and the things that people go through. And that's you know what I try to kind of hope to share with as many people as possible, is that of course we go through life with happy moments, and it is amazing if you can create them, but it's also really amazing if you learn to find ways to really deal with the pains, the traumas, the grief, the sadness, and the anger, and
Mm,
all the emotions that
mm,
are there. And
yes.
a couple of them for me were rooted in dealing with trauma, like dealing with violence on different aspects in life. So I was, as a young girl, I've been through some serious trauma, like uh, sexual trauma, but also more emotional trauma, and dealing with having to care for family members that were seriously ill. And it kind of made me grow up pretty fast.
Mm,
uh, and it really got me down for a big time in life. I mean, I've had some serious depressed feelings, and I talk about it with a smile right now, but of course this has been rough. And
yes.
I had found ways back then, because I needed to go on and I had no idea how. And I found ways back then to kind of get myself out of it by asking for help. but it was not such a habit that was really well developed back then.
No.
So kind of I went through life, and then at some point I've always had the pleasure of having beautiful people around me that would be able to kind of inspire me to take a new route or a different route, you know, and learn from them. It also made me kind of resilient and hungry for knowledge, I think, to really understand where I came from and how that system worked and how to, you know, put all the questions I had in place. And I think fast forwarded for a couple of years, I had the beautiful chance to get the help that I needed, and at some point even study to become a therapist myself.
Yes.
Made, you know, that also it really helped in this drive or vision for life to help others deal with it, but it also helped me back then to kind of understand my own system where I came from, right?
Yeah.
It works that way, and that was so helpful. And then I had worked, because just for surviving reasons I had to do personal development at the age of 15, 16 already, because otherwise I would not have been able to understand and cope with what I went through. So this is why I might be I'm really grateful for that right now, because of those depths at a young age, I kind of learned to you know, deal with even those
Challenges. Yes.
challenges,
Yeah.
and how to get myself out of that. And even though I thought I had worked already like a lot on my mind and retrieving my soul, and that level, at some point, I think when I was about 25, 26, I thought, oh, I did all the work necessary, but
Yes.
that's not how it works, of course. So at some point, I had this beautiful job. I worked in the, yeah, it's called Emma Kinderziekenhuis in Amsterdam. This is a hospital that, well, it's actually like a children's department of the hospital, and I used to work there, and it was a beautiful job, but it was a pretty heavy job because I guided people also to death and families that were dealing with that. So after that, I changed my job and worked in psychiatry, but it was kind of the same heaviness in different senses. But it was a beautiful job being a kind of a case manager and therapist there. But there was a day that I just kind of walked from one building to the other. We had this beautiful, how do you say that? Like, it was a place where people could have their therapies and their day programs, like creative therapy and all kinds of things. That was like, I loved to do that with them. And they're on the same, how do you say that? Like, on the same ground. There was a different building.
Yes.
Where they lived, right? So they just had to move from one place to the other, and they had this big field of grass and a garden and things that you could play outside. And so one day I was walking from one building to the other, and I really kind of collapsed on the ground, and I really had to kind of pull myself up on this little couch that was outside, like this little place where you could sit.
Yeah.
And I had no idea how I was gonna go home. Like, my hands and my feet just really stopped working, and I was like, ow. I was in pain, and I was very frightened because my body wasn't functioning the way I was used to it functioning. And that was a part of life where where a new chapter kind of opened. Like, I had worked on the mind and the soul, but not enough on the body yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine it's scary. Like, you're totally out of control and you don't know what's happening. Yeah.
yeah, I really thought I was scared. Yes, I really thought, how am I going to go home like this? Like,
Yeah.
I came with my bike, and it was a 45-minute bike ride, and I had no idea how I was going to do that. So I kind of really needed to shift and change my priorities. And I thought I prioritized health already, but it wasn't enough. I really needed to kind of learn to set new boundaries
Mm.
and make changes. And that was a pretty rough road, because it was an illness that people don't see on the outside, right? Multiple sclerosis can come with kind of periods, but you can't see it on someone unless somebody is in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Um, and it was a whole chapter to really find out what it was. And I had this inner urge and drive, because I had been working in hospitals and I had been guiding family members through cancer and all that, that I had this inner drive to really I always had this feeling like things should be able to go different. People should be able to heal themselves, right? We don't need those chemical medications and things to numb us down even further. And I had this inner drive to really not follow the path that my doctor in the same hospital then was telling me to do. And so that's where kind of a whole new chapter started. And it was pretty rough, because
Mm.
not everybody dares to take that route or
No.
understands the people that do take that route. So I must say I felt lonely sometimes,
Yeah.
but
I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was also a beautiful road. I think at the end, when looking back at it, it gave me so many gifts,
Mm.
and it really kind of reinforced my mission and reinforced the vision that what I believed in as a kid was actually possible, and it all came from this pain of not being able to help my family members the way I wanted to help them, I
Yeah.
think.
Wow.
Uh,
That's a big drive. I love. Love can be such a big drive. Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
can you tell a little bit, because this you got there, but I know you got out of it as well, and you did it. You choose the lonely, scary road, which quite uncertain and not understood by everyone around you, but you did
Mhm.
it. And I think maybe it's not the secret, but there is, because you probably work already on the soul level, there's this bigger power within you, and you managed to tap into this. And how did you do that?
Thank you for that's a beautiful question. Yeah, how did I do that? I think I think what helped me was there was a time in life where I had a pretty strong intuition, but for some reason I kind of stopped learning or listening to it. And then thanks to help from therapists and coaches and then a lot of people, trainers, even teachers in during my studies, thanks to their help really, and the people around me, I think there was a point in life where I really understood that I had to listen to that intuition,
Mm.
and to trust it. And I think I think that was one of the biggest. Um, Once I finally figured it out, that was one of the biggest gifts, I think, for being able to really use and work on that soul level, like you said. It was kind of retrieving my inner child again, I think,
Mm.
to to become what I used to be, something like that. And getting there was like a how do you call that? Like a milestone. Like, oh, I can do this again, or I know how this feels again because I can feel it now.
Yeah.
There was a time that I was not able to feel parts of my body or soul or mind or emotions. So when I was able to feel that again, it always felt like wow, you know, I need to do more to get deepen, or to deepen that feeling even more. And um, I'm thinking, like, am I answering your question right now? Your question was like,
Well,
how
I
did you
can
do it?
imagine it's not just a step-by-step way you did it. It's how I hear you say it's very intuitive, and you really did a lot of work, I think, to create again this space within yourself where you could connect to the parts that might have been left out or ignored, or busy taking care of others instead of taking care of yourself also. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I think that's the core of it. Yeah, to learn to really put yourself, or I had to learn to really put myself first.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what becoming, or getting the illness for a while, kind of the gift that was hidden in there. It was like a little box that at first really frustrated me really big time. I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to feel even deeper into my body, because there were parts that needed to be felt even more, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, so at first I was fighting it and not wanting to go there, and frustrated and angry, and I had lost a love, and I had lost I had two miscarriages that I was not able to feel into, because for some reason I was not going deep enough yet in my body. So, and that's because of the traumas before, yeah, I needed to really learn to sink in my body, feel all that was needed to be felt.
Yes.
And that was actually kind of an opening to all these new roads and all these new people and beliefs as well, like really reinforcing the belief I had that it is possible to heal yourself even of those deep traumas.
Yes.
um, and I think I could never have done it alone. I had so many beautiful healers, or the chances to meet those healers, or people. And it was also about a belief that I kind of suddenly understood how everything is energy,
Yeah.
and that we, our bodies, are energy. And I never understood it before in the same way, but I now do. That um, you know, more of a science class would be like, everything that we see is made of molecules and atoms,
Yes.
and we are too. And uh, well, we are made of many other things, of course, but um, what I then understood is that trauma, for example, is or any emotions that are not worked through are actually becoming a blockage in our bodies. And then I kind of saw how that I needed to find people that knew more about it. And then I suddenly understood, and I was open to really finding out what is the reason, the psychosomatic reason behind illnesses. And for example, I learned that multiple sclerosis, what I had, is something that is often really based in the nervous system. And when people go through trauma, the nervous system is the one that is affected the most. And the nervous system is kind of in control of all your body parts. So when my organs and my legs and hands and side collapsed, kind of, that had all to do with that trauma still being in my system. And I was still holding on to it in a way. So this is when I started kind of a new kind of mission to understand it, I think, and find people that were able to help me.
Yeah. And I know you do a lot of sessions with others as well. And which learnings you took on from others you think were the most helpful in this way? Because there's for the different things like trauma or body work or mental work, there's different points of views, but also different kinds of methods. And I know you do some things I love as well. So which one do you share with others because of this experience? How do you help others with?
Yes. All right. So I love to help people with the holistic view, and I know you do that too. And holistic kind of means, yeah, working on the whole system. So mind, body, and soul, or spirit. Some people call it, or add the emotions in there as well.
Yeah.
And see somebody as a whole. Really. As I take it on, maybe if I leave something out, please add it. But
Yes.
As I kind of see it, or the takeaway that I get out of the holistic view that really helps me is to already see somebody as whole, as connected, as complete, and to help people believe that they are that already. There's nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful as you are right now, in the here and now. And I love that. I think that's it's so beautiful, and you can really help people kind of expand in their abilities and their gifts when you approach it from that, I believe. But what I love to do is kind of combine all things. So I love to combine the psychosomatic part of illnesses or of mental states. I love to really add on a little bit of NLP and a little bit of the work from Byron Katie is one of the, I think that's such a beautiful method. If people don't know it, Byron Katie is a wonderful soul who has really dedicated her life to helping people as well in all areas of life. So from I think from people dealing with eating disorders to people that really are at the point of not knowing if they want to live. And then there are jails, gevangenis.
The jail, jail, yeah.
Where she has these trainings for even the people that are in jail to help them deal with their pains and traumas. And she kind of, really reaches all those parts of society and really bring it together with that method. And I think it's wonderful. It's a really simple method. And what I love about it is it does not only help you work on the mind and the limiting beliefs that you have, but once you solve them and see them and really look into them, you actually shift your energy, you shift your physical state as well, because you really create space in parts where you used to hold on to rest. Yeah, exactly. I love that because it's really a holistic approach, I think. And then I love the energy healing. I love combining it with Reiki, or there's this method that I have not learned, but a lot of people that I've met are really good at it, and it's called like quantum touch or regenesis healing. And that is something that helped me, that this beautiful lady and this beautiful lady really helped me with a lot of things using that method. And I would love to learn it, but I have so many things to do that I sometimes have
so many stress probably as well. This is the thing, when you're inspired, then you want to do everything, and especially if you're so open, you are attracted to many things. So I hear you say you work a lot with others, and one of my favorite topics is always co-creation. And hey, the thing is with co-creation for me is that you do something or you come together and you bring both your strengths together and something totally new comes out of it, without knowing. It's just like an explosion of energy that wants to manifest. And I have seen you done that as well with a lot of people. And maybe you want to share a little bit on your view on co-creation and how you do this. And I see you working with other people, and yeah, I just love that you keep your openness in that also.
Thank you, dear. That's
Yeah.
another amazing question. And to be honest, it really is you who kind of sparked that understanding of co-creation in a different sense that I have heard before I met you. And I
Oh,
think
really?
you really inspired me in that, because it was
Yeah,
something that I didn't know had a name, but it does have a name.
it does have a
And
name. Yeah.
yeah, and I think yeah. So what is my like what is my view on that? I think it's beautiful because I had the chance to kind of experience with you what co-creation is and what the beauty is of really sitting together. You've helped me with a really big step of the course that I've now launched,
Yeah.
and creating, thanks to you, kind of creating that webinar as well and do all these things around it. And
Yeah, I love
uh,
doing that together. Yeah. I miss it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you really kind of showed me a new way of doing that, and allowing some help. So my view on co-creation really is like, it might seem really you say it so beautifully, like that I do that all the time, but I think it's a new or kind of regained skill that I used to have as a kid, but it has been away for a long time as well, because like you say, like sometimes when you're so open, that's how I sometimes got into trouble as well. So there have been years that I did not dare to open, that
Mm.
I did not dare to trust in myself or other people, and I really had to work through that to be able to be open again. So opening up to you and these beautiful groups and all these people that we met at these trainings we did together, that kind of really sparked an old skill of mine, or an old inner child thing of mine that really now is so good that I'm there again. It's like, wow,
It's
I'm so
like
grateful for that.
playing.
It's playing,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
It's learning to play and being open, and from that
Yeah.
you always, really see it as, you're always stronger together, and it's always so much cozier and such a nice way to spend your time if you dare to play and trust in that process with someone else. Um, so that's how I kind of see co-creation now from a more aware perspective, as where it used to be something that every child does. You play
Yeah.
with
So natural. Yeah.
so natural. When I was a kid, I'm not sure what it's like for you. Maybe you'd like to share on that as well. But when I was a kid, I would go home and have my friend Moreno have uh, eat some bread at home together. That's a really Dutch thing to do. But between schools, you have this pause, we call it, this little lunch
Right.
break. And I would play with anybody. Then after school, you'd play something else outside on the street with, I don't know, maybe
Neighbor
a female
kids.
friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were so many different kids to play with, and that's kind of something that most people lose, and I know that I lost it.
Mhm.
How I did that, and it's such a gift to be able to find that again. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's where co-creation starts. That's kind of how I see it. Maybe what? Yeah, I'm curious. Like, does this fit you as well, or how do you see that? Does
Well,
that
for me,
resonate?
the co-creation is always um, it has something magical. It's when you step out of your mind and you think it should be like this, and this is what we learn. Like we learn, we need to take these steps, and of course, hey, it's nice to have a little bit of structure. But when you allow the magic to happen as well, it is about this openness. It is about staying true to yourself, but also to what others want to bring in. And it's always surprising what's comes out of it. And Carolyn Miss is a lady who is a medical medium, and I read a lot of her books, and one of them was on co-creation, and I got inspired by someone else as well. Like she's a founder of Flow Lab, and this is a co-working space, and she's all about co-working, and the people can work there. But the things that arise there is that people start to help each other. It's all set payers, all one-man business owners, and with different skills helping each other. And it's amazing to see how things then start to bubble and helping each other and creating things together. And I love this. And what you say, as a kid, you do this naturally. I don't know where we lose it, but I'm happy that I found it back as well, because it is about playing. And I hear you say a lot about inner child and things like this. And this is what we almost forget when we grow up, that we can play, we can be joyful, we can be happy. And that's a process, of course, but we keep on going, being childish or childlike, not childish.
Yes, and
I love it.
And it's beautiful how I understand what you say. Like, you can be so inspired by all these beautiful souls on this earth having these amazing ideas. And you said she's a medical medium.
Yes.
And this kind of really sparks something else in my mind. Like, there are so many medical mediums, really. There's one that is called Anthony William, who has this amazing set of books.
Yes.
I would really recommend people to read that, or have a look at it. But there are other medical mediums or people that work with energy, like Donna Eden. She's also healed from multiple sclerosis.
Oh yeah.
She's like
very inspiring for you. Yeah.
Like, wow, this woman. And the most important thing is try and find somebody that resonates with you, of course. Yes. Because for some people, Donna Eden might not be the right example, or it's important that you resonate with them and really find people that really touch your heart and that you feel like, it is possible, that make you believe again. I would really recommend for people to be open to that and find all these new.
Yes, and there's so much that this time there's so much information we can access, and it's amazing. So I love that it needs to be put out there. So and like you say, it has to resonate with you. So this is, I think, why there are so many things out there, because everyone needs to find their own kind of example or inspirator. And I see you started also writing your book. What is it about? Because this is also new for me.
Well, it is. I made a start, but it might take a while because how that goes. But I started, and the idea is so that's like the start already is like, wow, it really is. It was a dream of mine when I was young, and now I'm here. Like, what is happening? But what I actually want to do is kind of create a book, being my own medical medium in that sense, and trying to really put all my knowledge in that book. So kind of not only making it an autobiography, maybe partly to kind of reinforce all the tools and people that I would love to interview, and really, I would love it to be more of a self-help book, a self-care and self-healing book.
Yes, nice.
Yes, and this is what really, yeah, I really hope that it may reach a lot of people.
Yay! Well, I'm for sure gonna get it, and I would love to read it. So
Cool.
you, what's your goal to get it out when, or 2021 or?
Yes, well, that would be awesome. I don't know if it's doable, but
Yeah.
for sure before the end of 2022. And if it's before that, maybe 2021 will all be about the book, then it would be amazing. I would be so grateful. If it's possible, I would do it, and I give myself a bit of time.
Yeah, I can imagine, but it's interesting. We shared so much already, and all of these stories are amazing, and it's really material for your book. So it is there already. It just needs to be put down.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I would really love to. I'm gonna give you one just as when it's ready.
Oh, thank you. Yay. I'm gonna get back to you next year and the year after too. Like, where's my book?
You'll be the first. Finish it now. Well, that's good. That would help me. I would be grateful if you would do that. Yeah.
I'm gonna for sure do that. It's now, I put it in the back of my mind and it will stay there every time we speak. So you say like wealth is for many people it's different, but or success is also different for a lot of people. Some say successful is being rich, or successful is being good at what I do, and and I can live from it. Or so, what is your how would you describe success, and what is it for you? It would be interesting.
Oh, cool. That you have these beautiful questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, so what does success mean? What does it mean to me? Well, maybe I'm thinking, how can I kind of give it a how do you call it? Kader, like
a framework. Yeah.
Right, yeah. I had a talk about success the other day with somebody that it was a beautiful talk. This was this woman who's really spiritual, into shamanic rituals as well, and we talked about energies and male and female energies, and we also did some inner work together, and we had this conversation about what success meant, and also our fears around success. And we came to a fear that we kind of knew together, and it was a fear of, when I'm successful, people will be jealous. And we kind of dove into, what does jealousy mean to you, and how come you've learned that limiting belief somewhere, and what does it give or bring to you, or what does it take away, and how does it stop you from being successful, and what does successful then mean, right? So it's kind of the same but in a different approach. And for me, it was a big fear for a long time. I really kind of held myself small for being afraid that people would kind of bully me, or that people would like kind of bring me down, or be jealous, and then do things or say things that would be painful. And it's maybe not based on truth, or maybe it might have been, or it's, there are some memories that I'm sure many people can relate to it in a way that it kind of, you can sometimes, with those limiting beliefs, you really can stop yourself from being successful. And I know I have for a long time. It mostly had to do with being being afraid to really show my true colors and really
Yeah.
be as big as I am, or dare to be that big, because I had no idea how big it could be, and I might not even know half of it. I don't know. But for me, being successful really means to allow myself to step into my greatness and really dare to discover and play
Mm.
on that road to greatness as well. Like, what is greatness then, and how is that achieved? And it sometimes has something to do with being a bit of a high achiever, maybe.
Yes.
uh, Being really sensitive, um, to other people's energies, and to all the possibilities out there. It kind of also inspires me to be this multi-potential and try to make a lot of areas in life work, or something. That's also
Mm.
what it means to me, I think. um, and success, I think, when I look back to my parents, for example, they have been such beautiful souls, really creative, sensitive people. And I think for a while I was not able to see it, because I had to go through some being ungrateful moments as well.
Mm.
But now
We all
coming
have
back
that.
again,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
But now, having found a way back again to being grateful for
Mm.
all these chances that they've
Nice.
given. Both my parents were teachers. That's not something I would recommend to everybody, but it is amazing, because they've taught me so much. They're teachers in their own way, of course, but um, it, towards my dad, he used to be like a goldsmith, and making jewelry, and working with gemstones and all that. And it's actually such a gifted man. Then he became a teacher, and then at some point he suddenly ran a big international company as the director and CEO, and selling gold and silver and doing all that. And I used to miss him a lot, because he worked so many hours that he was not there so much. And um, I had known periods that I was ungrateful of that,
Mm.
because I missed him.
Miss him, yes, of
Uh,
course.
yeah. But now I also see it as, maybe, you know, I'm trying to, in a way, maybe sometimes stepping in his footsteps, that he really took all the chances that came on his path, and he's
Yes.
trying to make something really big out of it,
Yeah.
in order to take care of his family. And I'm now really grateful for that. I really see
Yeah,
it.
it's a beautiful story. I never heard your father's story, but yeah, I can see you make the big jump one go. You're all jumping, and yeah. So I'm very grateful we have had this talk, but I think we should round it off now, because I think we can talk forever on these topics, and it's interesting to hear. And although I heard your story, you added some more elements into it, which were very, very inspiring to me as well. And you share so much knowledge, and where you got your knowledge from. So that's really beautiful. I
Thank
think
you,
if
dear.
people listen to this, that they were like, oh, I'm going to read this book, or this, because it does help. It does help to look at the different. If we just try only to find it within ourselves, we sometimes get stuck. But when we get in other interesting topics or people, or it just grows and grows and grows. So yeah, it inspired me also. I'm gonna read something about on Anthony Williams for sure. I wrote it down, so thank you for sharing. It was
Good.
a good start of the Thursday morning.
Yes, it was. I'm all inspired and pumped up, thanks to you being an
Yes.
amazing interviewer, and host of this beautiful morning call that we have here. And I just really wish you a lot of love and more inspiration. And I hope that you have a lot of these interviews because you're amazing at it,
Thank
and you really
you.
made me feel seen and yeah, you gave me this stage to share all these things, and it's such a big gift. So thank you,
Yes.
dear.
And yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this. Another co-creation, huh?
Another contribution.
If we were together,
Yes.
we'd give you a high five. So, yay. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank you, dear.
again. And have a beautiful day.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.